All right, long time no see. It's been many, many moons. I have been busy, as you guys know, running my business. I started personal training and coaching back in September, which is going to segue pretty well into the topic of today's video, which is a point of contention at the gym and most in-person trainers, as well as online trainers. Should AI be your personal trainer and nutrition coach? I firmly believe that they should not be. So a lot of this comes down to the fact that AI will never be a human replacement. It can't be. Almost every point that I make today is going to relate back to the fact that AI is not human, and it never will be. The first point I want to make is that AI will never have any real physical awareness, right? A trainer that sees you in person gets to know your body, gets to know your biomechanics, gets to know the patterns in which you should move to see the best growth for yourself. AI can't possibly do that, okay? AI is going to give you a one-size-fits-most approach, which is not going to be optimal or even good for you, because the one-size-fits-most approach, if applied to you, could lead to an injury. If you have maybe a joint impingement or potentially a past injury that needs to be worked around. That is going to lead to, again, no in-person kind of structure for how your exercises should go. It's going to create some bad habits and cause you to eventually get an injury, more than likely. Most people will experience an injury in their lifting career. It's just kind of the nature of these things. However, the chances of you experiencing an injury if you are working with a knowledgeable personal trainer, that's obviously going to go down. We have the ability to teach not only proper form, but proper form for the biomechanics of your body. The next point that I want to make is that AI will never truly understand the human body. AI works off of data and patterns given by the mass majority, right? There's no real biological understanding of the human anatomy there. Like I said, that's just data. It doesn't fully account for differences in human anatomy, such as injury, growth, or even medical conditions. It's especially risky for people that are younger in development and don't have the proper training skills, or even older people that are obviously a little bit more brittle, a little more sensitive to injury. Human trainers are obviously able to adjust the plan based off of real life experiences, and AI is just never going to be able to do that because they're not a real life person with real life experiences. Again, they just collect data from people that turn over data. Arguably, the biggest point that I'd like to make is a safety concern, right? AI often, like I said, gives a one-size-fits-most approach, which can be outdated, very much so oversimplified, or a lot of times just wrong, right? It's very easy for AI to give, a one-size-fits-most approach to training for an individual, which that individual possibly, maybe they can't handle as much volume as this program that AI spit out, right? That's going to lead to an injury. A big thing is body composition. AI will never be able to understand your body composition. Okay, it can kind of guess, but it's never going to be accurate, right? So if you're trying to get a diet plan from AI, it's just never going to be accurate. It's never going to be able to accurately figure out your caloric needs to even maintain your weight, let alone start losing weight or gaining weight, right? Depending on which context you're trying to move towards. So that's a huge safety concern. You could very well end up severely underfed or severely overfed, which in both cases, negative health outcomes, right? Now, an in-person trainer, as well as an online coach, goes off of data that we see in person, as well as data is provided on a check-in basis. We can appropriately know when it's time to push and when it's time to pull back, when it's time to adjust the diet, what your needs are as a human being, right? Because we're able to use our brain to evaluate what's happening with you and make changes based off of our actual human experience, right? So in my case, I do consider myself a pretty experienced dieter. I lost 150 pounds. Okay. Now, along the way, I learned a lot about when it's time to pull back, when it's time to push forward, how the diet needs to be adjusted based off of what's happening in person with you, right? Chat doesn't know that. Okay. And AI is going to have to come a very long way before it knows that. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not a tool. It's absolutely a tool, but it should never be something that we use to write our program to follow, right? It's not safe. It doesn't make any sense. Another big piece to this is a good coach it's not always all about good nutrition exercise plans. A lot of it is accountability, right? So one thing that we're very good about is keeping you accountable, understanding your struggles as a human being, and helping you adapt and conquer that, right? AI has no understanding of emotional intelligence. There's absolutely no way for it to keep you accountable, right? There's no way it can do that for you. You can't build trust with a chatbot. It's not going to happen, right? A human connection needs to be there. Oftentimes we use our own experiences as trainers to help you guys stay in it, stay motivated, and help adapt the plan based off of your needs as a person, right? So that can be something as simple as a diet. Like say maybe you're having a hard time in the morning time, cooking your breakfast because you're on a time crunch. Well, obviously a coach that knows what they're doing is going to adjust that plan to give more easily accessible options that maybe don't necessarily need to be cooked. They can be taken in on the go, that are going to fit the macro profile for what is needed to achieve the goal and outcome that we're going for. Human connection is essential for staying consistent. And again, like I've said multiple times, AI is just not ever going to be able to build that human connection, the trust that's needed to push that forward progress. Okay, like I said, AI is, again, not human. This relates a lot back to it just not being human. AI will never fully consider your culture, food availability, budget, or personal preferences, right? The idea behind especially my process is to build a plan that is sustainable for you to continue, right? AI is not necessarily going to consider that. I've definitely built food plans around culture. I've had clients that are not in the same country. Maybe their religion doesn't allow them to eat certain foods. Even something as simple as personal preference. Like if chat was to spit out a meal plan that had tons of fish in there, but you hate fish, why the hell would you stick to it? It's awful. That's not something that you want to do. A human with any kind of knowledge in nutrition is able to get those macro and micronutrients from other food sources that you actually consume and will enjoy, right? So just like a little background into my process, right? With all of my programming clients, I handle their nutrition programming, exercise programming, cardio programming, as well as supplementational programming, right? I go off of a weekly check-in system. So generally I assign people a check-in day. They check in with my check-in form, giving me visuals, weight, metrics for their sleep, digestion, if they stuck to the diet. There's a description for them to tell me their struggles throughout the week, right? All that data is for me to digest, consume, obviously make changes to the diet to keep weight loss going or keep weight gain going, or just be a human being and help them adhere to the program, make changes to the program to help adherence stay high. Chat can't do that. And I say chat, I mean AI in any facet can't do that. It's not a person and it's never going to be. A human being is also to be held accountable, right? We as coaches and personal trainers have skin in the game. We have a livelihood to achieve. We have standards and ethics that we're going to follow. AI does not have that. They have no skin in the game. AI has no family to feed. They have no ethical code to follow to keep you healthy and progressing towards your goals, injury-free, health concern-free, right? We want the very best for you. We are a person. Oftentimes we've been in your shoes. We are currently in your shoes, just trying to progress forward. We want you to be as healthy as possible so you can continue those goals and keep working towards new goals for the rest of your life. AI does not consider these things, and they never will. So while AI can be a helpful tool to track your workouts, potentially get new movements in, it's never going to be able to replace a personal trainer or a certified nutritional coach. When it comes to your health, safety, and just overall long-term well-being, human expertise is always going to be bar none the best way to go. If you found what I had to say helpful, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe, comment, help boost me in the algorithm, get my message out there. If you are looking for coaching in any way, drop a comment on the video. I will connect with you, and I'm more than happy to arrange consultation with you to help progress your process. If not, then keep using AI slop and stay mediocre, man, because AI slop is going to stay slop. It's not going to be anywhere near as meaningful as a human connection that a coach can provide you. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you all keep killing it out there. More updates to be coming soon. I'm starting to get kind of a regular schedule carved out with my life as a coach. Right now, it seems like my morning times are pretty busy, and my days do run early. I start my day at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm usually done, by mid-afternoon. Off chances, sometimes I'm not. So I'm definitely getting a groove and figuring out when I can train and film content for you guys. If you couldn't tell, I am in off season. I'm currently the biggest I've ever been. Still holding very nice conditioning for this point in the off season. Very healthy. Recovery is absolutely dialed. I absolutely love the life that I live. I love being able to help people for a living. I feel like it is definitely my calling, something that I was put here to do, for sure, without a doubt. Every time I get to fill out a check-in, every time I get to do an in-person session with somebody, watch a PR happen, watch them progress, it's just, I would argue that it's more satisfying to watch somebody else's process progress than it is to watch my own. Been there, done that. I've run a lot of off seasons. I've been through a lot of fat loss. Just another day in the office for me, but to watch that light bulb click in someone's head, to watch a PR happen, to watch them see their physique progress to new levels that they've never seen before, that's something special. And that's why you should always go with somebody that's in person, because the kind of care that we put into this, how much we genuinely do care about your process, not something that a robot will be able to give you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a phenomenal week. Crush your workouts, and I'll talk to you next time.